Today, I'm going to walk you through and break down one of the most common and biggest push-up mistakes that I see not only among lifters, but actually a lot of coaches making as well. And just to cut straight to the chase, the mistake pretty much revolves around over-tucking your elbows, all right? So doing push-ups with your elbows tucked directly against your sides. Now, just very briefly, some background information which is really important to understand. We still see this a lot today, but the old school way of doing bench press and push-ups is having your elbows out to the side like this, pretty much almost at a 90-degree angle to your torso. But what was happening was people were getting a lot of shoulder pain and injuries because that position is a little bit provocative for the shoulder joint. So what coaches found was if you tuck in your elbows, then you significantly reduce the stress on your shoulders, and you can still get the same benefits of the exercise, just with less risk to the shoulder. But the fitness industry runs on a pendulum, okay? So something is either really good or really bad, right or wrong, okay? So, carbs are fattening or carbs are great, or the bench press is a great exercise or the bench press is the worst exercise. That's how the fitness industry works. So what happened was, coaches went from recommending this to all of a sudden being like, no, this is bad, now we have to do the opposite, going here. And the reason this promotes a huge issue, there's actually a lot, but the two biggest ones are, number one, with your elbows tucked in like this, you're essentially doing a pseudo tricep extension, okay? So from this position, this is all you're doing, it's a tricep extension. And if you want to work on your pecs, it's not a good movement, okay? Because when you do that, you're not gonna be able to recruit as much muscle fiber in your pecs. Now, if you only wanna work on your triceps, great movement. But if you want to include the pecs, you should probably do it a different way, which I'm going to show you. The second reason this is an issue, and in my opinion, arguably more important, is because when you tuck your elbows in like this, you aren't able to get enough or a lot of scapular upward and downward rotation, which is essentially a fancy way of saying your shoulder blades can't move like they should be able to, which is one of the biggest reasons that we do push-ups in the first place, because push-ups done properly allow your shoulder blades to move freely. They promote a lot of scapular mobility, which essentially downstream helps improve shoulder health and function. And if you lock your elbows into the side and you don't let your shoulder blades move, then you aren't going to be getting those benefits, which is a huge reason why we should be doing push-ups in the first place. So just to give you a visual example of what's happening here, I'm going to show you the wrong way to do it first and what it looks like, and then show you the right way to do it. So if you're doing it with your elbows tucked into your side, just note how far I'm coming up on the upward portion, okay? So elbows tucked in, and then I come up. This is as far as I go, right? And my shoulder blades are barely moving, a couple degrees here and there, not much. But now I'm going to take my elbows out a little bit wider and watch what happens. Take note of how far I come up on the way back up. And all that's happening is I'm able to allow my shoulder blades to upwardly rotate across my rib cage. So my shoulder blades, instead of being locked here, now they're able to come up like this, which is really helpful for my shoulders. Now, just to give you even a more of a visual, I'm going to come down and then up without moving my shoulder blades. Now watch what happens when I just make my shoulder blades move. See how much more range of motion I get? So here they are locked in, and here they are protracted. My arms are fully straight regardless. So my arms are either here or here. It's the same exact, my arms, nothing changes with my elbow, but my shoulder blades, that's causing more movement. And with that movement comes more serratus anterior activation, more shoulder mobility, more scapular mobility, a lot more shoulder health benefits. So really long-winded way of saying, don't tuck your shoulders in, your elbows in like this, okay? More than welcome to have about a 45-degree angle between your elbows and your torso to get more pec involvement and to make it easier for you to get that scapular upward and downward rotation as you go through the push-up, all right? If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.